So I used the Dario strings anyway before they approached me about anything. I also used the Dario picks, the Black Ice 1.5. So when they approached me and said, could we do some videos together? I said, of course, I use your stuff anyway, that would be great. So this is a bit of a hopefully kind of fun video about some of the weird and wonderful products that Dario make that you didn't realize you needed and probably don't.
This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
I can't really even remember some of the products that I've said about in here that, you know, I said to chaps at Dario, you know, these would be interesting to check out. So let's just see what comes out of this box. Box within a box in a box. Okay, so of course you know that Dario make cables. They also make these DIY solderless cable kits. Oh, when you're making a pedal board, this is actually a useful thing, right? Because there's lots of times where I think, right, I want to put this pedal this side of the board, but my patch cables will only reach so far. I literally had this exact issue with the Eventide H90 and HX Stomp that I put both on a board, and now I was like, well, I need to get further. So having the ability to make your own custom cable lengths is probably a good thing. Now here's a thing that maybe you think, what on earth is that for? And that is the Varigrip adjustable hand exerciser. So if you've run out of guitars to play, you can exercise this thing when you're on the go. They say the Varigrip hand exercise is a pocket-sized conditioning tool that provides strength, speed building, and maintenance for the entire hand, wrist, and forearm, while also offering an excellent pre-gig warm-up. The patented exerciser allows adjustable tension to each spring-loaded piston for an isolated and individual finger workout that no other hand exerciser can offer. As a bonus, simulated guitar strings underneath the soft rubber pad mimics the feel of real instrument strings to help build and maintain your calluses while away from your instrument. So you grip it, not like that, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and palm to tip, thumb squeeze. Oh, and you can then change the tension of them. Yes, that's one weird and wonderful Dario product that you didn't realise you needed. The old hand grippy thing. Another one here, Fiddilink hand exerciser. So, maintain your strength and dexterity with a satisfying tactile experience that's tough to put down. Stay nimble with this on-the-go tool that trains and tones idle hands anytime you're away from your instrument. The unique training mechanism keeps you engaged and combats fatigue while providing noticeable improvements to your fretting and picking hands. I'm not really sure what the goal of this is. Maybe that's... Oh yeah, you kind of turn it inside out. It's kind of interesting to watch. Fiddilink. That's that. I don't know. Put that in your pocket and then do that for a bit until you get tired. I don't know. Would it just give you RSI? Who knows? The hand exerciser. Drillbit Peg Winder. So you can use with any cordless power drill this to wind up your machine heads on your guitar, which to me seems like a bit of a risk, right? And this to me seems like you're potentially going to stick your thing on, you stick it into fast mode. I've got like a pretty good power drill. I imagine you put that on and then just completely destroy your machine head. But yeah, the Drillbit Peg Winder. Drillbit, because you've always wanted to use a cordless screwdriver to help you change your strings. Here's hearing protection. So did Dario make hearing protection? This is something that I actually think we should talk about a little bit more, because in my mind, this is a thing that probably you don't really think about until it's too late. So for instance, you know, you might sometimes be on a gig and you stand the other side of the drummer to usual, maybe near to the snare drum, and it's kind of maybe 3, 4, 5 songs in, you realise, ow, this is really hurting my ear. If I don't have earplugs, tend to put like tissue in my ears. It's something I get made fun of quite a lot by my band. But an actual pair of earplugs, if you're not using in-ears, is a really solid idea. They made a carrier case to go with these. These will for sure be going in my car. I'm always losing earplugs, so I need to have like a steady supply of them. But if you don't have earplugs, I would recommend it, because you don't want to go deaf, do you? Obviously. And they make a range of these. So there's like D-Bud, there's the Piccato hearing protection, which is like 12 dB average attenuation, natural sound, and the D-Bud has 2 levels that you can attenuate by. Oh, we got another hand exerciser. So the other 2 weren't enough. This one is really, really bizarre, and I guess I can show you. For this one, we're gonna put essentially our fingers into here, just beyond the knuckle, and kind of looks like a little bit of a bondage thing, right? Then what we can do is make it more difficult to play guitar for ourselves. So chords that you could play before will now be rendered impossible. Yeah, that's making things much more difficult to play. And yeah, so that's an interesting... Yeah, if you were finding guitar too easy, you know. Stick these on your hands and make it a more difficult instrument than it already was. I'd maybe be a bit careful using that, but off of the instrument doing that kind of thing might be like a good exercise. And then when you take it off, you'll be 4 times as fast maybe, I don't know. I guess you could also use that to practice kind of stretching somewhat. Whether this would be totally necessary or not, I'm not totally sure, but maybe. I don't know. That's that. I think, yeah, we can categorize these things in terms of things that may be useful, things that are 100% useful. The Piccato, the D-Bud, definitely earplugs and protection are a huge thing that I think we should talk about way more. We got ways that we can use power tools to tune up our guitars. Is that a good idea or not? I'm not totally sure. Thing that I think is a really good idea. So this is called the guitar dock, and I didn't even know this existed. Like much of this stuff, I didn't realize this existed until speaking to these guys, and I said, like, I get laughed at by my band for not taking a guitar stand. I since bought a guitar stand, and true enough, they did pick it up out of the car and said, "What on earth is this? What are you doing?" So yeah, that was quite funny for me. But yeah, this is the guitar dock, and the idea with this is that you don't have to have an actual guitar stand. So one thing that I've noticed now that I've started bringing a guitar stand is that, like, sometimes there's just really nowhere good to put it. The amount of times that I've seen someone put a guitar, and myself included, up against the desk and it just fall or start to slide away. So how does this work? Right, you do this. Potentially. Right, so now, hopefully that is going to be considerably safer than just leaning it up against. At least it's not going anywhere. The guitar dock. I think the idea really is that you'd have it hanging from the headstock there, but even in that case like that, it's at least stopping that guitar from sliding all over the place and getting wrecked, as well as not having, you know, marks from the edge of a desk on my guitar neck. And very cleverly, so you could put this on like the side of an amp or something like that. This spins 360, which is pretty clever actually. That's an actual really decent product, I think, that I 100% will be using. I actually did a gig the other day where the bass player had not brought a mic stand and he was going to be needing to sing. I bring everything else in the band basically, but he was going to be singing a couple of tunes, and basically we just had to kick Jake off vocals so that Joe could go and do the vocal for that. Now this is a little bit of a wild scenario, but if you see this here, something like a pedal shape, what you could do with this is mount a mic stand onto your pedal board, essentially. And I don't know if that's something that you've ever wanted to do, but to me it does seem like the sort of thing that, as wild as it kind of looks, does really have an actual use, because now sort of standing, you're not having the issue with the kind of mic stand legs kind of competing with your pedal board. So there is like a genuine practical, then just adjust like a normal mic stand. You know, it's there, the mic is here. It's kind of actually a really practical solution. So that's the mic stand. And then also on top of that, once you've got your mic stand there, it's actually stable as well, because I was thinking, well, wouldn't this knock over a pedal board when I first heard about this? But it's pretty stable, like about as stable as a mic stand normally would be. Right, compact stages, in particular in that scenario where you've got your mic stand, which has that kind of big area, we take this out, we're actually saving a significant amount of floor space, right? I think it's an actual really practical idea. That's the D'Addario expand stand thing. So if you're using an expand board, that should work, but it might even work with some other boards too. But there's also a bunch of mic stand accessories. There's some other things you could attach to your mic stand, like this handy tray. Well, this could be attached to any mic stand, but in particular I thought it was kind of worth thinking about with the, so yeah, a little box of stuff. Tray, kind of where you could just, again, put like slides, capos, that sort of thing. I'm always putting those things down in daft places, so that actually might be a pretty practical one that is less silly. And then, in case you're just a genuine alcoholic, you can have a drinks holder as well. So those are some ideas for things that you can put on your stand from D'Addario that you may or may not need. Tips jar. Maybe that was the thought instead of like the raging alcoholism. Should have thought